everybody, welcome to another week of Bluedog's photography and travel vlog. As you can see, I'm here in Monument Valley. No, I'm at the Eiffel Tower. Now I'm at the beach. Now I'm in front of a green screen. Now this is something interesting and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But first of all, on the week past here at Bluedog, what's been happening? We had a great trip to Mile Park last week where we had 2 days of photography in this amazing botanic garden. If you haven't ever been there or heard of it, do a Google and look it up. We're hoping to revisit Mile Park at the end of next year, so keep tuned for that. Julie also held a beginner to Photoshop, so those that attended certainly got a good run and an introduction into how to start getting into post-processing, so that was fabulous. Some of us got to visit the Nick Brandt exhibition in Brisbane. Now, Nick would have to be one of my favourite wildlife photographers, and this was an absolutely stunning exhibition. If you missed it, don't worry, it is going to Sydney and Perth later on, and we'll post those dates in next week's vlog. But at the moment, it's also showing in New York until the 19th of May. So if you're over in the US, try and check it out. He is a truly awesome photographer. Also this week, we got to check out and play with the new Canon Mark III here at the studio, which kept a few of us very, very happy. Check out Sharon's interview with Lee.
So being a Canon girl, Lee, I've got to ask, why did you choose a Canon camera? They are the best, I know, but why did you choose a Canon camera?
Well, I guess I can't take credit for it. I had a mate of mine in the States who's a professional photographer. He recommended Canon, so that's how I ended up with it.
Great recommendation. So some quick comparisons that I've noticed between my 5D Mark II and the 5D Mark III. The new body is slightly heavier than the 5.2, than the Mark II, sorry. ISO range slightly higher. Don't know the stats off the top of my head, but certainly up there. The grip itself definitely feels a little bit more comfy, and Lee, you find it
definitely more comfortable,
beautifully in your hand. So yeah, I'm really excited that we're getting to have a play with something new, and pleased to be learning a new toy.
Definitely.
Sounds good.
Also, something that was really, really special for me this week was I walked out to the front yard of the studio and found 8 king parrots happily feeding and playing in one of the trees. These are magnificent birds and a real thrill to see. We had males and females, so I raced out and got the D4 and certainly got it clicking. The light was getting low, so I was shooting on 2000 ISO, and I must admit, even after blowing up the images, I was very, very impressed with how the D4 is performing at these very high ISOs. Lowepro also unveiled this week its new Urban Photo Sling series. Now these bags are designed for the street photographers. They can be worn 3 ways and they can be loaded 2 ways. Now Lowepro are hoping to send us one so we can put it through its paces, and I'm looking forward to this because this should time with a new workshop that we're about to release on street photography. We'll have more information on that in the next week, but these are looking really fantastic workshops and something that we feel will be really, really exciting. Back to our background that we're using. It's actually what you call a green screen, and it's part of what is known as chroma key photography. Now this isn't new and it's been used in the video world for quite a while, but however, some advancements in Photoshop and other post-processing applications are now allowing us to use this in photography. We've already started playing with it here and doing a few experiments, so over the next month or so we intend to try and show you more of this wonderful technology and how it can help or assist you with different sort of photographic applications. This week was also the judging of our Bluedog Photography Photo Planet themed challenge, and the winner of that was Kath Murphy with this image. I have to say, this image really stood out for me as well. She's done a beautiful, beautiful job of it. Next week's themed challenge is opulence, so we should receive a few interesting entries, and I'm looking forward to seeing those in the next week. Coming up in the next week, we're off to Miles for a 2-day workshop, so another one of our regional workshops. We love getting out into the regional areas and really looking forward to this one. We're doing not only a beginner, but we're also doing an advanced macro and landscape workshop with some night photography out on a property outside Miles. So I'm looking forward to hitting the road very shortly and heading back out there. We also have this week coming up a macro workshop here at the studio. We have a portraiture using speed light, for which I think we only have one place left. All our models are booked, and this is a great workshop because you learn to start to get those speed lights off the camera and really starting to understand flash and how to use it creatively. So that's great. On Friday evening, Anita has a Brisbane at dusk under the Story Bridge, and I have heard a whisper that she's going to be doing a little bit of the steel wool burning. So for those of you that would like to attend, I think we also still have about 3 places left for that. So just contact the office at info@blue-dog.com.au to reserve a place. I booked my tickets this week for the Outback Tours, so I'm going to fly from Brisbane to Longridge. This tour's in October, and for those of you that are still a little bit interested in joining us, flights are on special at the moment, so it's an awesome deal to get out to Longridge. This is a tremendous tour, and we do have a lot of fun meeting the Outback characters and seeing the Outback scenery. Now, because of the rains over spring and autumn this year, it is estimated that this year's wildflowers in the Outback will be one of the best displays for over 100 years. So that should be pretty awesome. Last week we asked the question, what was your favourite iPhone app? Well, Pro HDR came in as the most popular, and I have to say it's actually one of my favourite as well. This week's question that we'd like to ask you is, if money was no option at all, where would you like to travel to photograph? So money no option, where would you like to go to photograph? I know my list is very, very long. By the way, we also had some feedback that when I go like this for you to click on a link, that some people can't click on the links. Now, we've done a little bit of research into this, and it seems to be when you're viewing it on an iPhone or an iPad. Leave it with us for another week and we'll see what we can find out about this, and we'll get back to you on next week. I'd really like to thank you very much for joining us on this week's vlog. We hope you have a great week ahead, lots of fun, lots of photography, good times, and travel safely, and we look forward to catching up with you next week. So from all of us here at Bluedog Photography, see you next week.